Okay, so I think penultimate step. Um, we now have in yellow here, we have the college grasslands. We have grassland core objects that intersect college lands that, and we have stored the area and the perimeter of each object. So now we just want to apply the criteria that the state has, and in one statement, select the objects or filter the objects that meet both criteria, that are both greater than 20 acres and less than the 0.015, I think, perimeter to area ratio. So this step is going to show you how to do that, how to select features by two attributes rather than just a single attribute. Is that all right? So let's kind of go through it. I'm going to copy this snippet and I'm going to paste it in, and we're going to select by two attributes. And so the idea is that this is going to start kind of familiar, in the sense that we're going to say that we want to take the grasslands with criteria, and that's going to be our input. So this is where we're going to store the result. This is our input. And what we want to do here is we're going to want to filter this thing, right? Whenever we select, we kind of feature collection, we're filtering, we're reducing the number of rows. And so it's going to be, I'm going to have to feed the filter something. And what's going to be a little bit different here, from what we've done previously, is that I'm going to grab an EE filter and I'm going to start with grabbing the AND, which is going to combine two or more filters using the Boolean AND, meaning both, if we'll get there for a second, but let's just say EE filter and lowercase. And if it's going to be, if it's purple, it's good, right? Just think like Prince's, you want Prince. And so EE dot big F filter dot little a and is what we're going for here, right? And then I got to feed that the arguments. So then I set up another parentheses, and at least if I click one parentheses, it knows to kind of close it, and it's gonna allow you to start feeding it right away. I'm going to give myself more space here. And now I want to use the idea that it needs to be greater than. So I'm going to say eefilter.gt. So I'm going to type in eefilter. It's got to be greater than, and this is asking for, sorry, let me get so this it's not so cramped, the name of the property and the value to filter on. So this is going to be where the area, right, that we defined here is going to be a string, and that's going to be greater than 20, a number. And then after this little parentheses, I'm going to hit a comma and say EE dot filter less than or equal to. So I'm using this one, and I'm going to say PA, and then this I believe is 0.015. And then I'm going to make my parentheses line up. So the idea is that I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to filter it, and I'm going to use the EE filter and filter, and I'm going to feed that these two other filters. Filter if it's greater than and less than or equal to. And what the and does is it means that this condition and this condition must both be true in order for the feature to get selected, and like in this case, or pass through the filter. So it's going to remain in the output if it satisfies both of these conditions. Is that fair? So then what we're going to do is copy that, and then I'm going to do the color here of orchid, because whenever I let my daughter, who's 5, pick a color, she always seems to pick orchid. So we're going to end it with orchid, and this is going to be the best grassland habitat. And say false, and click run. And what do we get here? It's going to run, and hit best grassland habitat. It's going to think about it. Let's see the results that it kicks out first. You should see that we've gone from having a certain number here once it cruises through all this. So we're going to wind up with 2. Um, is that fair? And you can also start getting in a sense of the distributed nature that Earth Engine solves problems. But we had 109 features on college lands. 2 of them meet the criteria that the state has identified, and it's these 2. Is that fair? So that gets us pretty close, and we're just going to do one last step. Um, and I'll see you in a moment.